Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a boy named Max. Max was a lively child with a wild imagination. One evening, after donning his favorite wolf costume, he caused quite the ruckus at home. His mother, very upset, called him a wild thing and sent him to bed without dinner. Feeling angry and misunderstood, Max retreated to his room. But as darkness fell, something magical happened. His room began to transform. The walls became trees, the ceiling turned into the sky, and soon Max found himself in a mysterious forest. He journeyed deeper into this enchanted forest until he came across the ocean. With a sturdy boat conveniently waiting for him, Max set sail. After many days and nights, he arrived at the land of the wild things. The wild things were large, strange creatures with big eyes, sharp teeth, and wild hair. At first, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth. But Max stood still and stared right into their eyes, using all the courage he could muster. Amazed by his bravery, the wild things bowed down and declared Max the king of all wild things. Max loved his new title. He led the wild things in wild rumpuses, dancing under the moon and howling at the stars. They climbed trees, swung from branches, and even built a giant fort out of sticks and leaves. Max felt joy like he'd never felt before, surrounded by his new friends. But as days turned into weeks, Max began to feel a bit lonely. Even though he was the king, something important was missing. One night, while sitting quietly by himself, he realized he missed his mother, his home, and even his cozy little bed. With a heavy heart but a wise mind, Max decided it was time to leave. The wild things were sad to see him go, but Max promised he'd return one day. He climbed back into his boat and sailed across the ocean. The journey felt shorter this time. As Max reached his room, the trees turned back into walls, the sky into a ceiling. And there, waiting for him, was his supper, still hot. Max smiled, realizing that no matter how wild and far his adventures took him, home would always be a special place. And from that night on, he knew he could be anything he wanted, and go anywhere his imagination could take him.